Hello.
Okay. রাজের ভলিউম আমার সবসময় অনেক কম থাকে।
আমার খুশি মাইকটা আমি 3 বাজে অনেক। Let me see Ching Chong Hanji.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Yeah.
ঠিক আছে তাহলে কি নিয়ে কথা বলছিলাম?
No, ওটা নিয়েই তো স্ট্রিমটা করতে চাচ্ছি because I
right.
played Origins and it like completely fucked me up and I wanted to talk about all that shit and the state of what Batman is right now. So give it like a couple more minutes while people listen to Ching Chong Hanji and then we can start.
Yeah. Hello, welcome to Thwipcast. We'll get started in a few minutes when you guys are actually listening.
Oh, there are 3 people watching now, so is that us?
It's not counting me because I'm in the
Can't count
studio.
me. Yeah, it doesn't count me.
Yeah, so it's me and Rafi. We're both in the studio, so it's 6 right now, and so that's
Yeah, I think
No.
that's people.
people. So hi guys, we'll get started in like about a minute or so. So just hang with us for like just a couple more minutes to see if any more people join, and then we'll start. I love that song, man. That song's so freaking awesome.
It's annoyingly catchy.
So good.
What song?
Ching Chang Hanji.
I'm playing Ching Chong Hanji.
You know, it's easily one of Mustafa's greatest finds. Everybody who's waiting, a minute more and we'll start talking about today's topic. Thank you for waiting.
Fuck
That's-
it, I'll just sit.
Yeah, just like prop yourself up with pillows or something.
Yo, Rafi, did you see the 3rd episode of The Boys?
Yeah, I watched all 3 episodes.
আচ্ছা আমি একটাও দেখি নাই মানে is the whole thing gonna drop later like
No.
It's 3 episodes in this week and then 1 episode every Friday until episode 8.
Oh, acha, then I can just watch it 3 episodes. I'll probably watch it. No, I'm watching Mulan tonight, so I'll watch it.
Ew.
Well, you know, it sounds interesting. যেভাবে Raj আর Nav were talking about it. I want to watch it.
Isn't it just anti-Hong Kong propaganda?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that what the movie is?
Like Chinese good, Han's bad. Man, India is bad.
China good. Winnie the Pooh.
I rarely understand like subtext concerning political things in movies, so I'll be fine. Is it 10:05 yet? No, it's 10:04. So 30 seconds more while we bore people. There we go. Hello guys, welcome to Thwipcast. Every Saturday 10 p.m. If you know coronavirus doesn't kill us, we should be able to do this for the indefinite future. Even though Rafi's leaving, we need to figure out what happens when he does. But for the foreseeable future.
I can do this stream from the UK, right?
Oh right, there's something called
Literally
internet,
do the
right?
entire thing from the UK. It absolutely changes nothing at all.
There is something called the internet. Yeah, so Thwipcast, welcome. We're going to talk about Batman, The Dark Knight, and everything that's happening to him in the comics, in the games, in the movies, and everything. So it's been a couple of weeks for Batman. That's pretty interesting. So before we start, let's just introduce ourselves. I've learned from my previous mistakes. I'm Munazil. With me are... Oh, see, I told you, I've learned from mistakes. I'm Munazil, and with me are Rafi.
Hello.
Raj. And our resident musician, Rodro.
Hi.
And today we're going to talk about Batman. So let's get started. The reason we wanted to talk about Batman today was because Rafi had some makeup-related mishap, and for that, he had to actually give me his Tom King run of Batman Deluxe Editions. And without getting into details of the mishap, I've been reading the Tom King run of Batman for the weekend, and I've been playing Batman Origins. And I've realized that Batman is something that we don't really talk about a lot. It's at least in his current stuff, with the way shit is going for him or whatever the character is going through. So speaking of Tom King's run, Jara Comics follow and you know that Tom King's run ended, and right now is Tinian the second writing it, Raj?
Yeah,
In the
Yeah,
fourth.
yeah.
The fourth? Oh, there are four of them?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
big fan.
That's some kind of legacy. So fourth linked the account in the comics. From what I've read, an issue here, an issue there, the Joker War is going on,
Yep.
and in the Joker War, the things that stood out to me was one of the things, or a Batman origin regarding the Mask of Zorro. They're changing that a little bit.
Are they?
Yeah. Apparently, there's something called the Gotham Cut. So
Right.
what happened was, apparently there were the movie, the Mask of Zorro, the 1940s edition. That's basically the movie that Batman and his parents were watching, or Bruce Wayne and his parents were watching the night that they got killed, and he became, or he decided to become Batman. And
Right.
apparently, Oiratra, the movie that they were watching, The Mask of Zorro, that was the Gotham cut, and that was specially made
The
for.
Mark of Zorro, right?
Is it the Mask of Zorro or Mark of
Mask.
Zorro?
No, what's the mask?
No,
of
Mask
Zorro?
is the actual one.
It's either Mask or it's Mark. I think Snyder uses a version, which is the 81 version called The Mark of Zorro, the Gay Blade.
No.
Oh, no, wait,
It
it's
is
the
it is the
1940
Mark of
Mark of
Zorro.
Zorro.
There, it is the Mark of Zorro because there's a 1920 and a
Mask of
1940
Zorro is the
version.
Antonio Banderas
Mask
one.
of Zorro is the one we saw.
Acha,
Yeah,
okay, so
yeah.
Yeah.
there's a 40s version, there's an 80s version, and
There's a
there's
20s version.
There's a 20s version, and there's usually the one they use in the Batman origin is the 40s version, right?
Uh-huh.
So which is the Mark of Zorro. And apparently what Joker is doing is he's releasing Gotham Cut, which is, I think it's, they're making a parody of themselves at this point, or their fans, I don't know. But I think it's a play on Snyder Cut, and he's releasing something called the Gotham Cut, and he's releasing it all over Gotham, and anybody who goes to watch that movie will be given $10,000. And apparently
And will
this
be
movie,
Jokerized and killed.
I'm pretty sure that's the plan. And apparently this movie was only seen, this Gotham Cut was only seen by 3 people before, and he hasn't said who these 3 people were, but we can assume who they were. And so ওটা নিয়ে একটা কাহিনী চলতেছে।
I'm not
What the
minding
fuck
the
is
Joker
all of
one,
that? What?
like the Joker war thing. The part that's weird to me is like he suddenly knows who everyone is. That just feels like an asshole.
Right? It feels so ass-fully in the sense that he's taken away Batman's fortune. He knows, and all the Bat caves. He's taken over all the Bat caves as well.
Like
Bruce
he
Wayne-
just suddenly decided to like reveal that he's known who everyone is all along, which
Yeah,
is like
right.
it came out of nowhere.
It makes no sense. They're just raising the stakes just for raising the stakes and for the sake of storytelling. It's just it's fun in a way, but
Yeah,
চিন্তা
the
করি, it's
status
like-
quo thing, like everything that's going on, it's fun, like because he's like running Wayne Enterprises. All his henchmen have like Batman grade weaponry and shit.
What if this is the Joker from the end of Three Jokers, the new Joker?
But Three Jokers, from what I understand, they're saying is not in continuity in a sense.
Nothing is
So I'm
ever
not
in
sure what-
continuity. Nothing
They
is
said
ever.
if it makes money, then it will get continuity.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on there, but like the sense, hey, এটা হইতে পারে, because Three Jokers said though he says we're gonna make a bet, which is also weird because the boss Joker, which is the criminal, I think that he's the leader of the shit, and he's saying that we do what we always do, we make a better Joker. So all that's actually pretty intriguing, and আমার কাছে বেশ ভালোই লাগতেছে যে to realize that this is probably gonna end up being some kind of a mindfuck. And it has to be a very good mindfuck to actually sell it to us.
Yeah.
I don't know if Jeff Jones can pull that off.
Yeah, the problem is that what I feel like what's going on is that Jeff Jones came up with the idea like back during the Dark Side War just to like have like a what a twist moment, but he didn't actually think about what it means and what to do with it. তাইলে কি
হ্যাঁ,
এতদিন লাগছে?
হ্যাঁ, that's what I was thinking. Like, he took 4 years. আচ্ছা, এটা তো কইলাম, কয়া এখন করুমটা কি? What am I gonna do about this? So I think that's what's happened, and he's been working on that for the last 4 years and so. But yeah, the mindfuck has to be something amazing to explain all this shit. Like why the three Jokers exist, why does this current Joker know everything about Batman and all the Bat family, and how has he known this all along and all this shit. And taking over Wayne Enterprises and taking over all the Bat caves and all the Bat technology and all that shit. And the other shitty part of this is how they're butchering my boy Dick Grayson, and it's fucking annoying to the point that I don't really enjoy what they're doing. I think it's called what, Dickie Boy now?
Rick.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know, dude. Like, Dick is just not having a good day. Like,
Yeah.
first
Rick
he
hasn't
gets,
hasn't been having a good day for like what 2 years now. Everyone hates
I
Rick.
mean,
Yeah.
he got shot in the head, right?
yeah,
Who did he get shot in the head by? I forgot.
KGB.
KG Beast,
But
right?
it was
KG.
part of Bane's plot from King's Run. Like he was
Acha.
basically doing everything to make Batman miserable.
So he gets shot in the head. He forgets who he was, and he doesn't remember anything of the Bat family, all that shit. And he doesn't remember who he is essentially. And from what I understand, that Joker took him under his wing and told him that he was the one who raised him as a boy, and that he hated his parents, and he was happy when they died, and he calls him Dickie Boy.
Wait, when did all this happen?
When did you show up?
I just came in. I'm sorry I was late. I was watching, the Ray.
This has been going on. That's what's been going on in Batman comics right now. Joker War has been going on. Three Jokers.
Wait, Joker Wars it. Dick Grayson has no memory of who he is. He doesn't remember anybody from
No. Nightwing.
Nightwing. Dick Grayson.
What's
Yeah.
Nightwing hasn't been Nightwing for a while now already. Like
How
he
did
lost
that-
his memories.
but-
Yeah.
But he lost his memory, so why didn't he?
So what happened
I
is
mean-
that like he was starting to gain back his memories, but like the reason why he didn't was because of the Court of Owls. Whoever was operating on him used some kind of crystal to give him fake memories, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I would think. Like, right, Dick Grayson, if he forgets
Yeah,
being
yeah.
Nightwing and the
So
Bat family, he would
Joker-
go to the Court of Owls, right?
So Joker took that crystal and like basically rewrote the memories to make Nightwing like his son. Like he makes Richard think that Joker can adopt Corsillo to fight against Batman.
This is like plot from Bold and the Beautiful. Right?
I mean,
what his son got lost, but now he came back. He just didn't remember who he was. He was working for, and then the villain found out, and then the villain made him work for him.
Rafi, can you turn down Nav's volume? Because he's gonna burst my
sorry.
eardrums. Now let Rafi do it. He can just do it from Discord.
Oh, cool.
It's so
What's
cool.
so funny, dude? God, that's hilarious.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it's that's what I'm saying. Yeah, right now, Batman in the comics is in a state of completely creative decay, like puri bankrupt. Like, look at what Snyder's doing with him, not Scott.
Yeah.
It's like Batman who laughs, and then he's doing Batman who
I'm just glad
Manhattans.
that everything that's going on there has nothing to do with the actual Batman run.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But it's all over the place. Like I said, Richard Grayson or Dick Grayson or something, he's known as, which is an fucking unfortunate.
You know what I miss though? Like I miss Grayson. The book Grayson. I think
Yeah.
Talking the
Yeah,
Visual.
Yeah.
the,
That was
spiral,
really good.
the fun spy book.
That was really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
That
that
was
was really
good.
fun.
That when he went
Yeah.
up against Spiral and took down Spiral from the inside and all that shit, that was actually a pretty good run.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, so he's having a very tough time of it. He's Joker's son right now and all that shit. And,
Dickie boy.
even Harley Quinn's not having the best of times as well, right? So Harley Quinn is right now being replaced by somebody called Punchline.
Yeah.
And Punchline is basically a Joker fangirl who has turned into his girlfriend and has, I think, slit Harley Quinn's throat and thrown her down a river. And Harley Quinn is actually hallucinating a creature that keeps on telling her to die or something like that. So they're
Okay.
basically doing an emancipation storyline with Harley Quinn as well. So she's moving away from the Joker as she's moving away from
I mean
Joker's
that
shadow.
happened a while ago.
Yeah, that's been happening in every
Since
Harley
Scott
Quinn media.
Snyder.
Yeah.
That's been going on since Scott Snyder.
Now they're putting the final nail in the coffin, like they did in the TV
Right.
show, like they did in the movie. Now they're doing it in the comics as well. Give Joker punchline and move Harley Quinn out of his shadow.
Yeah.
So she's having nightmares. Batman's losing his mind as well because he keeps hallucinating
Oh
Alfred.
yeah, because he's infected with the fear toxin and the
Yeah,
Joker gas.
the turbo fear toxin and Joker gas, and he keeps hallucinating.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and also Damien left as Robin.
Oh yeah. Damian
Robin.
left as Robin.
Oh man, fuck
That was
Batman
good. That was a
comics.
good issue though. The Teen Titans annual.
So all over right now, Batman and ODK in Metal. I really don't understand what's happening in Metal. So it seems like a weird rock opera, space, sci-fi, crap, magic bullshit, where everybody's
Yeah.
Batman. Basically, it's like Neil
Batman
Wayne
version
and
of everything.
yeah. So it's like it's just weird, and I don't understand it, and I don't enjoy it. Although
And
for some reason I have the first Metal run. I don't know why I bought it.
the first Metal Run was fun. This is this is just weird. Like
It's too much Batman.
I don't know what they're trying to do.
Too
Yeah.
much Batman.
It's like DC Comics is becoming a parody of themselves as far as Batman is concerned, because in the characterization of Punchline is more like the fans. She is literally a character that is based on Batman fans or Joker fans, and they're like I said, they're doing the Gotham cut, which is a play on the Snyder cut. And
Uh-huh.
all this shit, it's just they're just making fun of themselves, and which is actually in a way I enjoy stuff like that, not but that's pretty meta as well. Tinian is a good writer. Tinian Forth is a good writer.
I want to see where this goes, but I kind of just want Batman to have a run that's not event based. Like I don't know.
It's
সব কিছু event আর ভাল লাগে না।
yeah, that's why Tom King's run was so good though.
Yeah.
That's why it was like such a solid Batman run, right? His relationship with the people around him, which is Bat family, and himself as a humanizing. It was very humanizing, which I loved
Yeah.
about Tom King's run, which is why most people hate it because somehow they need to see Batman as some kind
I mean,
of a.
you have to understand that we came here from Snyder doing Batman as an action hero to Batman as a human being. Like it's a weird transition.
Yeah, like
Dude, everybody does Batman as an action hero.
yeah, like you know who
nobody
does.
like the detective stories anymore.
You know who does Batman as
সবাই
an
is like Batman কে মানে পুরো একটা warmonger বানাই দিচ্ছে. It's like he's brutal or enemy দেখলে he just goes and like beats people up and does all this weird stuff. And he's not a detective anymore. Like Tom King, there was a semblance of a bit of detective, I guess, but
Yeah.
nobody does it. He's always just
Yeah,
like
the focus
they
of
make
Tom
him
King
daily
was a very
Batman,
different side. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't him being a crime fighter even.
no.
Like it was dealing with his traumas.
Everybody- Everybody else does like Batman is like he's a brawler.
yeah, but
পাইলেই মারে, he just beats people up.
like it's been this way since New 52. While
Yeah, it's been that way. It's been a
I've,
while.
I have enjoyed Batman comics since Scott Snyder has written him. Like Amar Kache All Star Batman, that was like a full on like that was like it didn't make any sense. It's a
Action movie.
every issue was like an action scene, and it just starts like that. It just starts like that. There is
Wait,
no,
which one are you talking about? Like the
All the
Snyder one or
Batman.
the Frank Miller one?
No, the
no,
Snyder.
no, the Snyder one with the jock covers and stuff like that, and
Right,
like
right.
With
that
the JRJR art.
with the JRJR, like it starts with like he's chasing Two-Face, and then he's fighting Mr. Freeze, and then he's fighting somebody else, and it's just action, and I enjoyed that. I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed that. But like of the
Okay.
4 writers post Grant Morrison that I've read writing Batman,
Did you read the Eternal books like Batman and Robin Eternal?
I read Eternal, and I did not like it. Eternal was a little weird. For me.
I thought Eternal was okay. I really liked Batman and Robin Eternal though. Like
Yeah,
the
that
sequel
was.
one.
But
I
like
didn't get to read those.
I enjoyed Jeff Jones's take on Batman in Three Jokers. He's going a little bit. He's going back to the more symbolism or the iconic stuff of Batman. Because Three Jokers can to start the first 4 pages is just like Batman takes his cape and cowl off, and Alfred is operating on him or stitching up his like wound, and they keep showing scars on his scars and how he got them. Like his body is like full of scars. this huge dude, and they're showing the eta killer croc kamor disilo dekhe is karta hoise. This is where Joker sprayed toxin on him. This is where Penguin stabbed him with an umbrella, and all his scars. They're showing all the stories of his scars and how he got them.
So this is not canon. Like, is it not connected to
We don't
the
know.
Tom King stuff?
We
don't know
don't
yet.
know. We don't
But
know.
if
Alfred
it's
is
not-
alive,
yeah.
Yeah,
it's
man,
not
it
kind of
can,
like Tom King is ending naive from. So basically, if Alfred is
in
alive,
that case, it would have been like can I tell you, sir? This is Red Hood wearing his old costume.
yeah.
So
Tal's like during or before. Tom
I
King
think
run,
it's right.
I'm assuming.
It's a time period between New 52 Batman and Tom King run. It's
this
somewhere.
would be like right after Darkseid War,
Okay,
basically.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Rebirth or New 52.
Yeah, that's what I think. That this is right after he got off the Mobius chair, found out there were 3 Jokers, came back, and now he's investigating it. That's pretty much where it is.
So they took this long to.
ওই যে এটা আমি আর রৌদ্র
This
বলতেছিলাম
is what we were talking about. Like, it just took him this long to come up with how to make
Oh.
sense of this.
He goes through this every time, right? Even he did that with the Doomsday Clock. It took like
Doomsday Clock,
ages to get to that.
Yeah, because he does this like he does this. Oh, even in the Hawkman run, right? Yeah, it made sense at the end. Yeah, he actually fixed that crazy motherfucking timeline. ঠিক আছে Hawkman origin ঠিক করছে. But even then, at one point, you knew that I don't think he has any idea what he's talking about. I don't know how he's gonna make this. And then he takes this time and he thinks about it, and then at the end, so far he has delivered. I'm not gonna say that John's
Dude, even Doomsday Clock was really good. I loved the last issue.
right. So
Yeah.
he delivers. At the end, he delivers, and so I have hope for 3 Jokers. I enjoyed the first issue a lot. It was a thick, chunky boy issue. The ending was a bit forced. Like I don't want to spoil it for people who hasn't read it, but like
I mean, we are talking about Jason, so
yeah, no, I can see it. Like, look, if Jason was gonna do what he did at the end of 3 Jokers 1, he'd have done it years ago.
I mean, he did try. He did try. You can't say that he didn't try.
But that revelation of what he said to Joker in his darkest moment, আমার কাছে ওটা অনেক forced লাগছে. Like, no matter what, that's not something you would say, it's not those words exactly. Maybe a variation on that, but those words
No.
exactly.
I think it's very possible. He was being tortured badly. This is the same as Tim Drake in Batman Beyond. Like, the level of torture that broke him into being like that.
Yeah,
ওরকম ভাবে ভাবলে।
yeah, maybe, but it just felt a little bit cringe to me. Like,
What I didn't get was Joker said that I didn't kill you. I mean, I left you a little bit alive, but he was actually dead in the comics.
না ওই যে একটা বম্বের সাথে রেখে দিছিল or am I thinking about the movie?
No,
No.
he was beating him.
comics say he was blown up by a bomb. But
Yeah.
that's what the Joker says basically in here, that I could have killed you if I wanted to, but I kept you alive. You didn't survive on your own. I planned it all. I kept you alive to fuck with, basically to make you a version of me to fuck with Bruce. That's what he says.
Died,
And-
right?
Wait, so you're saying he planned all the people there?
Dude, আমি তোরে কি বলতেছি? That's why
Jason getting into the thingy,
Yeah.
spatial bullet.
Oh yeah,
listen.
ওইটা একটু forced. ওইটা definitely forced.
Basically what is happening with Batman v Joker right now is that Joker has been planning all this shit from day one to make Bruce's life miserable. He's pretty much taking credit for making Bruce Batman.
Okay.
He's literally saying, we're repeating this for the sake of my friend who just joined us late. Basically, what he's doing is he's releasing a movie, Mark of the Zorro, which is the movie that he was seeing the night his parents died and he was born, right? So Joker is releasing Mark of Zorro, the Gotham cut. He's releasing it all across theaters in Gotham, and he's paying people $10,000 to come and watch it. And he's telling only 3 people in existence has seen this cut. And those 3 people seeing this movie changed the course of history. So basically, right now he's saying that somehow he was the one responsible for, Thomas Wayne, Martha Wayne, and Bruce Wayne to have seen the Joker or the Gotham cut, and that somehow led to everything that happened. And
That's definitely an asshole. That's definitely an asshole right there.
So
Good lord.
It's weird, but dude, that's so comic booky though. I want to say that it's like this. This is the thing about comic books. You can analyze it and say, "Oh fuck, that's an asshole."
এখন দেখা যাবে টিম
But
বার্টন
like,
ব্যাটম্যান করে ক্যানেন করে ছাড়বে জোকার
dude,
was joke jail all along.
see, this is why I made that video about world building, right? What we end up doing in making this world believable is we, writers start doing this ass pulls, and we were like, that doesn't make sense,
What is a
But on
comic
the
book?
other, yeah, but it's a comic book. So just like maybe it's gonna be fun. Who the fuck knows? I'm not gonna say it's weird as hell. Except in the Dick Grayson part, I'm calling him Dickie Boy because he's my boy, and I can't like stand shit like that. I'm actually not minding Joker War, but veering off from Joker War, I want to talk about the best Joker v Batman story that I don't think a lot of people being outside. If you're not a gamer, you haven't played, and that's the story of Batman v Joker in the Arkham games.
Which is ironic because Munazir Ahmad's talking about this without having played City, guys. Without having played Arkham fucking City. No, Night tao thik ase. Night is the it's not even the ending. It's more of an epilogue to Batman versus Joker. ঠিক আছে? But City is the actual Batman v Joker story.
I mean chronologically bolte pari because I played Origins, last 2 days, and I finished Origin, and that's the starting of the story, right? So cut me some
fun fact: Origins might be or might not be canon. ঠিক আছে? Anyways.
No, but in terms of how the story is structured, from what I understand, Origin fits in, right?
It does.
Sure. Yeah, it does. It does. It
Kind
does.
of.
I mean, I'm not talking about Rocksteady trilogy. I'm talking about in terms of the
In
Arkham
terms of Arkham's, man, technically,
Yeah.
the Arkham games are weird though, right? Because there's also comics, there's also companion comics that also don't fit in. ঠিক আছে?
Like I'm looking at a narrative through line in the sense that all the 4 games are
Yeah, the
just
games
an
make sense. The games
exploration
make sense.
of Batman
the
and
games make
Joker.
sense.
Origins, like when
Origins was basically like this game that tried to like give origins to everyone we saw in Asylum and City, but at the same time Arkham Knight completely ignores Origins.
Fully ignores Origins. Yeah.
Well, not yeah, and acha আমার Night খেলতে হবে to understand that, but like I haven't played Night. আমি একটাও খেলতাম
তুই তো
Night
সিটিও খেলো নাই
না আমি
আসলগুলাই খেলো নাই
basically if I go chronologically
No,
in my head I've played
why
zero,
wouldn't here's the thing? Why wouldn't you go for release order? Like
No,
a normal ass human being.
that's the way it's meant to be
You
played.
play Asylum, you play City, then you play
That's how
Origins,
Origin fits in.
then you play fucking Night. You don't start with Origins.
I'm talking about okay right now I'm just trying to talk
No,
about
that's the
Origins.
thing. We can't talk about
Yeah, we
it
can't talk about it because you haven't played City. We literally can't talk about it without spoiling it for you.
That's fine. I can talk about it. My experience playing Origins. You don't have to talk about it.
Dude, you won't appreciate Origins as much কারণ তুমি সিটি খেলো নাই
আমি খেলবো
That's the
না।
whole
তুমি
point of
আগে
Origins.
সিটি খেলবাসেন না, তুমি কেন অরিজিনস ধরছো? আমি তোমাকে আগে থেকে বলছি অ্যাসাইলাম শুরু করো, সিটি খেলো, তারপর অরিজিনস খেলো, তারপর নাইট খেলো। ভালো অরিজিনস দিয়ে শুরু করছে।
Sounds like is it?
Origins was $5 in the PS4 store.
Dude, just pirate the fucking games on PC. They'll run on your laptop, you idiot.
So
It was a cheap purchase.
Okay,
the Arkham collection was $20, so that was $5.
just fucking pirate City. তোমার ল্যাপটপে চলবে। ও ল্যাপটপে চলবে, আমার ল্যাপটপে সিটি চলবে। অ্যাসাইলামের সিটি তোমার ল্যাপটপে চালাবা বাল।
আমার ল্যাপটপে Asylum City চলে। I've already downloaded
তুই
that.
তো খেলো না কেন?
But let me
তুই
dude,
চাইলে কন্ট্রোলার দিয়েও খেলতে পারো ডুয়াল শটের উপর কাজ করে
হ্যাঁ, লাগাও তো কন্ট্রোলারটা লাগাও, ওটা খেলো। ভালো অরিজিন খেলা বন্ধ করো।
I don't think these guys are gonna let you talk.
Nah, because here's the thing. Like Asylum, like the Arkham games are something really like important and crucial to me and Rudra because we love that shit. Like I do a 4-run binge of that shit every couple of years. Parle, ঠিক আছে? It's night by her pore. Already 2 বার করছি.
and I am telling you, I understand what the shit you were talking about. That's what I'm trying to say. First of all,
No, you don't, because
You haven't played City.
depends on you playing City
You
first.
haven't played the best one.
Okay, vote it out. Then shred him. I guess. Let him say his piece. That's like how you hurt people.
like,
Let them say their piece and then jab the like dagger into their heart.
I literally played Asylum when it came out. I loved Asylum. I have no problems with. I loved Asylum. Erpore, I tried playing City a couple of times, and for some reason, then I had a JTAG Xbox, and it kept on hanging.
Oh, হ্যাঁ
So
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ
that's
ওটা
when
আমারও হইতো yeah.
like literally the prison scene where Bruce
Yeah,
Wayne is
yeah,
locked
yeah,
into,
yeah, yeah.
and then it just hangs.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I never.
I bought 9 discs. I bought 9 Arkham City discs.
I think I had it about 4 or something. So that's when I quit playing City, and then I was like so pissed off it, I never went back. Origins, when it came out, I tried it and it was a little bit buggy and shit, and I didn't play it. Rafi and Rodro have been telling me to play it for like about 2 years now. Like pura pagal. Like they've been on my ass about playing it, and I wanted to play something single player in this weekend. And so since I was reading Tom King's Batman, I mean Origins spicy $5. I mean I'm at least. So and I played Origins, right? I just want to talk about like the aspect of the Batman Joker relationship in Origins is when Batman shows up, Joker's actively trying to kill him. He's just like literally an obstacle in Joker's way. There's nothing. This love story that আমরা Joker and Batman এর সাথে সবসময় we associate, that didn't exist. That didn't exist. The Joker was trying to fucking kill him. What happens is he falls out of a building.
The free fall scene. Yeah.
That's when it changes, right?
Yeah, the
And
free fall scene was insane.
For a fucking video game, that's the most mind-blowing part. For a fucking video game to do literature of that highest order, that during the free fall scene,
why would you do that?
why would you? And he's like hitting Batman with the gun and asking him, "What the fuck would you do that?"
Then he tries to shoot himself and Batman stops him. It's like,
And then he
why?
says, why? And that's when Joker it clicks. Oh wait, this is something special. This is something weird. And like he falls for Batman as Batman fell for him. It's literally like
And
a
Batman
love
literally
story.
fell for him, and he.
That's the pun I was trying to make.
Yes.
And it's like a love story, right? And it's so brilliant. It's like one of the most observant breakdown and deconstruction of the relationship outside of Lego Batman.
You're only
Lego
saying this because you haven't played City and Night.
Yeah.
And even there's this sequence where Harley Quinn is সাথে কথা বলতেছে, right? And Harley Quinn thinks he's talking about her because he says, "I don't even know his real name. I don't even know who that person is," or something like that. And Harley Quinn thinks he's talking about her, and she goes, "I'm Quinzel." And Joker is basically talking about Bruce Wayne or Batman, really.
Batman.
And it's this twisted fucking. I'm not gonna say gay, but it's just a weird love story.
But one of the best parts of whatchamacallit, Origins is, at least my favorite part, is that it's not Mark Hamill voicing Joker, it's Troy Baker. And you know,
আমি কিন্তু
it's
আমাকে
amazing.
রোদ্র মাত্র বলছে ট্রয় বেকার, তখন আমি বুঝছি। আমি কিন্তু পুরো গেম খেলছি ভাবছি মার্ক হ্যামিল।
Nope. Troy Baker is just that fucking good.
Yeah, even Batman was voiced by someone else, not Conroy.
Yeah, Batman Roger Craig Smith. Yeah.
Dude, there's like Origins was good. It was like
Now, Origins is a good ass game. Kono kotha nei. Like plot wise, it's a good ass game. It's just it was buggy as hell, and like I said, people hated it
It's the
because
weakest Arkham game.
it's the weakest Arkham game. People mostly hated it because it was just a rehash of City. In terms of the gameplay and the mechanics, there was nothing new. It was just City. That's it.
Yeah,
like
they
I said,
literally used the same map, just একটু লম্বা করছে।
Just lamba korche ar kichu na.
এখানে আমার
আর বরফ অ্যাড করছে বরফ।
No wonder Munazir liked it, right? Still City.
no like
He hasn't played it, so he actually enjoyed the game.
Yeah, right. He didn't complain about it like everyone else.
He'll be like, wait, এটা তো already Arkham Origins এ খেলে আসছি।
yeah, I might actually
Yeah.
not like City right now.
No. City
Yeah,
has
but
way
it's
too
like-
good of a story. It's fine.
City is the best game though.
City is the best Arkham game. Kono kotha nei.
Right.
Definitely City is
No,
the
but
best game.
yeah, like I said,
But
I really
তোমার
enjoyed
সিটি
Origins.
খেলার এক্সপেরিয়েন্সটা একটু নষ্ট হবে because তুমি Origins খেলছো আগে।
That's fine. Dude, I'm playing this like I'm very honestly boli, I don't like the combat in Dark. I just don't enjoy it. It's pretty one button.
It is. ওটা কিছু বলার নাই। ওটা কিছু বলার নাই।
I'm not playing this game for the
Gameplay.
gadgets
For the
or
gameplay, you're playing it for the story.
you know,
Yeah.
I was expecting a good story out of it, but I was not expecting this good a story out of it. That's the point I'm trying to make. Like it's sad if you're not a gamer, and even most gamers don't really play the Arkham shit. You know.
What are you talking about?
আজকে দেখ
The Arkham
PS4
games
গ্রুপের মধ্যে
And what
PS4
do
গ্রুপের মধ্যে somebody basically was talking about এগুলো তো superhero games and superhero games are not good. Like there's a shit of ton of
I don't know
people who
ওগুলা
haven't
কামলাস
played.
মামা
I
ওগুলা
don't
র্যান্ডম
know তুমি
কামলাস
কোথা থেকে এগুলা পাইছো
র্যান্ডম
এরা
কামলাস
probably COD or FIFA
হ্যাঁ you
Because
talk about random
honestly, I
কামলাস
haven't heard of anyone
again
this
the
is
Arkham games
series.
the Arkham games there's a reason
Everyone
Arkham
loves
City
the
and Arkham
Arkham
Asylum
games.
or both got Game of the Year. Yes, the Arkham trilogy is god tier famous. It's mainstream as fuck. It's the Nolan of gaming. It's the fucking Nolan trilogy of Batman games.
It's not mainstream.
It's super mainstream. Who are you explaining this to?
People who's played all of it.
I know people who never played games who's played all of the fucking Arkham games. The Arkham games. Mustafa plays the Mustafa. I think Mustafa, but Khondokar plays the Arkham games, man. Khondokar plays the Arkham games.
রাফির গলা শুনে মনে হচ্ছে চুল ছিটতেছে ওর বাসায় বসে বসে মাথা so agitated my god.
মুনাজির বাবা মানে কি random কথা বলো তুমি
Like, look, not a lot of gamers actually have, and I'm just gonna stick by that, have actually played the Arkham games.
Okay, I'm gonna go to City's Wikipedia page, ঠিক আছে? Just to see the sales. দাঁড়াও, আমার একটা ঝাড়ি দেওয়ার জন্য।
Rafi's on fire.
I'm talking about the Arkham shit.
Yeah, the Arkham shit.
This always triggers it.
Yes.
Like,
Okay, like Arkham Asylum was tied for the highest rated video game of 2011. Yes, it was the recipient of several awards, to the Game of the Year, Best Action Game, Best Action Adventure Game, Best Adventure Game, and Best Original Score. It is considered one of the greatest video games of all time. It has received several releases, comprising a game.
I'm talking about the Arkham games in general, the Arkham series.
Again, here's the thing, mama. City and Asylum were two of the biggest games of all time. Night was one of the most Night was the most anticipated, one of the most anticipated games of all time. বের হয়ে একটু গ্যাঞ্জাম হইছে ঠিক আছে, but now it was still amazing. Origins is the only one that people shit on. So the Arkham games are huge.
Look,
The one you like is the one people shit on.
I'm not saying they're bad games. I played the first one, and when I played it, I don't know, 20 years ago or whatever, it was amazing. I'm not saying that it is not a good series. I'm just saying it is not as big a series as something like Call of Duty or something like that.
ওইটা তো অন্য জিনিস, ওইটা অন্য জিনিস।
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. It is not mainstream in the sense of, how a game like this should be mainstream. Do you think it's as big as Witcher?
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Bigger than Witcher.
Pretty much, way bigger. In terms of franchise sales, yeah, it is. Witcher 3 is the only one that comes near the Batman games, the Arkham games. 1 or 2 balda করতে পারেন একটা Arkham গেমের কাছেও। কি বলতেছো তুমি? আন্দাজে?
I don't think it is as big
কি
as
কইতাছো তুমি?
Witcher 3.
No, Witcher 3 ঠিক আছে. Witcher 3 is a fucking anomaly, but as a franchise,
Okay,
the Arkham games crush Witcher.
that's fine. I'm talking about, if you talk about, let's just say City. Is City as big a game as Witcher 3 in terms of mainstream?
Yes! Yes! What are you talking about?
No.
Dude, what are you talking about? আমি বুঝতেছি না।
Yes, got চুল ছিঁড়ে ফেলবে।
না মুনাজিল মামা মানে এটা হচ্ছে জাস্ট প্রুফ, বুঝছো যে মুনাজিল মামা ওই early 2000s এ তুমি ঠিকমতো গেম টেম কিছু খেলো নাই, তাই না?
Oh yeah, I wasn't playing games.
হ্যাঁ, exactly. The fact that what you're saying completely proves that. হ্যাঁ, you were playing fucking WoW and shit like that. You didn't actually pay attention to mainstream games. ঠিক আছে? That's why you're basically spouting utter bullshit right now.
Acha, I mean, yeah,
Wow,
City
was
didn't
pretty
sell as
mainstream
much
back
as
in
No. Witcher 3 is a fucking anomaly. না, ওইটা বাদ দাও, আমি ইম্প্যাক্টের কথা বলতেছি। In
Witcher
terms of
3 is
popularity
like
and impact.
20 million sales
Again.
around 20 million sales, and City is like 15 million sales. So the difference now.
5 million sales. Who cares, man? 2011 versus 2015.
My point
Shala.
stand.
So I mean,
Witcher 3 yet, but
শোনো না মামা মুনাজিল মামা একটা ভুল করতেছো। The thing is, you're comparing the Arkham games with something like Call of Duty or FIFA or whatever. You can, because those are like separate hallmarks, right? Those are separate fucking metrics. You should compare the Arkham games to shit like Last of Us. ঠিক আছে?
Okay, that's why.
Shit like Uncharted.
Oh yeah, how many copies? Okay, you guys, since you're looking at it, how many copies does the new Spider-Man game sell?
দাঁড়াও দেখি।
We're doing the numbers game now. Yeah.
And Spider-Man was, and I'm gonna say Spider-Man, the Insomniac game, that's not even mainstream.
Oh wow, it sold 91 million units. That's a
See,
lot.
that's what 5 times more than Arkham City,
Uh,
and on a single platform.
No, but problem holo like the Arkham City, uh, sorry, the Arkham franchise don't have recent records of sales. ওদের যত নাম্বার
Yeah,
দেখতেছি আর like
all up till
1-2 বছর after
2011.
release.
No, not even 1-2 বছর, like a couple weeks after release.
Yeah.
Like Arkham City sold 4.6 million units in its first week.
Let's say Arkham City, whatever numbers there are, let's go up by 5. So that's what, 50 million or close to 100 million. So that's on multiple platforms over a game that's been out for 10 years. And Spider-Man is on a single platform and has sold 91 million, which has been out for about a year. I'm not saying that Spider-Man is a better game or a bigger game. I'm just saying in terms of public consciousness, in terms of superhero games, that's a different place. In terms of a third-person action-adventure game, they are not mainstream. আমি তুই গিয়ে খেলবো ব্যাটম্যানের গেম, আমি তুই গিয়ে খেলবো স্পাইডারম্যানের গেম. Bring 10 gamers together, gamers, not comic book fans or Batman fans or superhero movie fans. Bring gamers, bring 10 gamers, and you'll finally two guys will have played.
আমি যত স্কুলে কামলাদেরকে চিনতাম সবাই তো আরকাম সিটি যখন বাইরে খেলছে, বার্লা কমিক বুক পড়তো না, কমিক বুক চিনতো না, সবাই তো আরকাম সিটি খেলছে, সবাই আরকাম অ্যাসাইলাম, আরকাম সিটি খেলছে, আরকাম নাইট বাইরে আরকাম নাইট খেলছে, সবাই খেলছে. কি করতেছো তুমি?
If they had actually bought their games instead of pirating them, we might not be having this fight.
They still played it. My point still stands. It is still in the public conscious. That is still mainstream as fuck. So no, you can call superhero games non-mainstream. That's perfectly fine. But the Arkham games bola jay na. Arkham games ke bola jay na. Arkham is mainstream.
Arkham games are really, really good.
Are very mainstream. Most people have played it. Thank God.
And if you're like, and a stupid asshole like me who hasn't played it in the last 10 years, they've been out for, and if you enjoy Batman and enjoy Batman stories,
asshole.
which are very, very well written, well directed, well shot, better than most of the movies out there, I recommend playing the Arkham series. It is absolutely fantastic.
And
I've been playing non-stop for 36
play
hours.
it in the release order.
Play it in the release order. Do not play Origins before fucking City. That's stupid. Only doo-doo heads do that. Only idiots do that.
And the only thing that you should stop playing Arkham City, whichever game you start playing, is for watching Chuck Norris in Delta Force 2, which is the only thing I stopped playing Origins for last night because I was watching a Chuck Norris movie with my friends. So Chuck Norris is more is more badass than Batman apparently. The last thing that I wanted to talk about right now, although we did cover this, I think Nav cheating us, so I want to go over it again. The Batman.
Sure. Okay.
The Robert Pattinson movie. Is it Pattinson or is it Pattison?
Pattinson. Pattinson hole he'd be a burger, mama. He's not a burger. Pattinson.
Son of Patty.
Son of Pattin. Pat in son. You pat in son. হ্যাঁ, ও করোনা হয়ে গেছে বেচারাটা.
Like he apparently likes to lick armpits.
Hey, he apparently likes to lick Kristen Stewart's armpits. Yeah, I saw that too.
I don't know if this kink is specific to Kristen Stewart or if it applies to all girls.
Wait. What the fuck are you talking about?
Batman licks armpits. Batman licks armpits.
That he used to lick Kristen Stewart's armpit.
What?
Oh,
when they were
I thought
dating.
that only happened in Japanese porn. Like it happens a lot in
He's
Japanese
just a
porn.
fan of jab. He's just a fan of jab, man. He's just a fan of jab.
So
Fan
he
of
used to
culture.
used to lick Kristen Stewart's armpits.
Uh-huh.
Like before her shower or
It's
after
true.
her shower?
Important question, right?
Like she's been shooting all day for Charlie's Angels and she comes home and he's like, raise your arm up, baby. And then
Let me get some licking.
let me begin like that is, oh my god, like that is
আমি বললাম এভাবেই করোনা হয়েছে better. এভাবেই করোনা হয়েছে.
কার আর্মপিট লিক করতে গেছে করোনা খাওয়ার জন্য?
he's weird. He says
Matt
some
Reeves
really
are
weird
armpit
shit.
lick.
Matt Reeves, no.
You know, like
I mean,
Matt,
it's either him or Colin Farrell. I don't know.
Colin Farrell sounded like 50 kgs of makeup, 50 pounds of makeup. Like,
ও আর্মপিট খুঁজে পাবে না, ও আর্মপিট খুঁজে পাবে না, ও আর্মপিট খুঁজে পাবে না মেকআপের নিচে.
you know what happened with the trailer, right? আমরা তো লাইভ দেখতেছিলাম, and you know when he said, well, আমি না, তোরা লাইভ দেখতেছিলাম, আমি পরে দেখছি, right? And so I'm messing everything up. And so when I was watching the trailer, and he basically, when he said, "Who the fuck are you?" and I'm like, I'm expecting him to say, "I am Batman," and he goes, "I am vengeance." I'm like, okay, then he's gonna say, "I'm the knight," and then he's gonna say, "I'm Batman," and he's like, "I'm vengeance. I'm working on the rest of it." I'm like, you need to finish that. That line's not complete. But yeah, again? Let's just we have had 2 weeks or more to think about it, and all the memes have come out, and Pattinson is probably gonna die before finishing this movie. I don't think he armpit liquor there.
Another posthumous Oscar for the Batman franchise.
Uh,
Mashallah.
He didn't.
I,
They only shot 25% of the movie, man.
Rudra,
Ki bhai
he's
korbe.
still gonna get an
look,
Oscar for it.
I'm like, listen,
CGI দিয়ে করবে।
CGI the promo
he-
টা করবে।
he's an armpit licker. How good is his immune system?
Okay, you know, fairness, Munaza was right. His immune system's probably amazing. He's been licking armpits since he was a kid.
Right.
He's just that amazing.
If he's licking armpits, what else is he licking? Like,
না
like,
তাহলে তো ইমিউন সিস্টেম আরো স্ট্রং হবে।
Exactly, that's the point. That's the point.
yeah,
That's the
what I'm
point.
saying. That's the point. I'm
He'll
trying to
survive.
make.
He'll
Look,
survive Corona
you don't think
easily.
his immune system is weak, right? Coronavirus is probably nothing to him.
He's licked way worse.
And he licked way worse. Like, like কদিন পরে খবর বাইর হবে যে he licked the dead rat that Jared Leto sent his co-stars. ওটাও lick করছে ও, just preparing for his role or some shit.
Did you guys see that? Paul Dano gave Robert Pattinson coronavirus as a part of his method acting as Riddler. That was a good fucking meme.
Batman can fight anything. He can fight the coronavirus.
Including the coronavirus.
You need to overcome that shit before you can be actually. So,
Oh, and in other news, did you guys see the stuff that's happening with Ray Fisher and Warner Bros. Right now?
Which is the whole Ganjam thing against Joss Whedon.
Ray Fisher is like, Hamada called me and said, throw Josh Whedon and throw Peter Berg under the bus. I don't give a damn, but leave Jeff Jones out of it. And it's like, no, I'm not gonna leave Jeff Jones out of it.
I hate Jeff Jones.
Is he trying to is he trying to not get any more jobs in Hollywood anymore? Because pull a stunt like this.
Look, like, I don't understand this guy. Like, he is effectively working his way to being shot on the street. Like,
I feel like he misunderstood the Me Too movement. Because he really misunderstood the Me Too movement.
You're a black dude in the entertainment industry going up against powerful white guys. Dude, the fuck are you talking about? You're just gonna get shot one day in your sleep. It's like,
At least John Boyega, when he does it with tact.
Powerful babda. But you should like to let the Snyder Cut come out and then you start blabbering your mouth, right?
Have something to stand on. Have something to fucking stand on, man.
This is all a plan, right? This is what happened. Zack Snyder basically said, look, we're all white people and Gal Gadot looks white. So we can't say shit about, and to drum up controversy
Ray,
and get.
you're my boy.
Yeah. Ray, you're black. You're untouchable right now. And plus, you don't have a career, so you're nothing to lose.
You never had a career anyways. No one cares. Just go ham. Go ham.
Zack Snyder both say he's the heart of his GLA cut.
I mean, of course he is, because আর কিছু তো নাই বেচারার life এ। Career নাই তো।
If I'm gonna make you lick armpits on live TV, I'm gonna first butter you up, say you're the heart of everything. So that
Ray Fisher এটা খুব মজা লাগতেছে। I was like, he's why are you blowing it up right now?
And the thing is,
It's such a bad time to do it.
thing is, no one's asking for it. It's not like a reporter saying. Reporter saying.
Which is Zack Snyder দেখো ও গাজাইরা he's going after Josh Whedon like for no reason and Josh Whedon is like ওরা পাত্তা দিচ্ছে না করো।
They legit haven't even responded to him, have they? No one's doing anything. No one gives a flying fuck. No one gives a fuck.
Grabbing their mouths like randomly এরা।
ও কথা বলেই যেতেছে what the fuck, man. But yeah, the Batman, the movie, I saw the trailer a couple more times, right? And as long as the Riddler does not wear anything green with question marks on it, I am in for it. But then also, I started thinking about, like, there was this tweet that went viral quite in ago, right? And in the tweet, it was like, "ওখানে বলতেছিল যে think about when you do a gritty take on Batman, when a dark, realistic, gritty take on Batman, you are basically making him a cop with no accountability."
Yes.
Because in a heightened reality like that, and if it's that's fine, he has bad computers and satellites and space planes and watchtower and all that shit. But when you do a real gritty take on Batman, American cops have better technology than fucking Batman. Like their gear is
Batman is like that kid who came, whose mom drove him to the rally and then he AK-47 niye guli mera manush marse, right?
He's just
Batman.
He's just
and he goes and he high fives the cops and everything. I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm going home. I'm going home for dinner, man.
Like that's my first thought. I was seeing the trailer. Like not my first thought. Like my 100th thought when I was seeing the trailer. Like the first time they show his boots, right? He's wearing boots he could buy in a fucking normal like the Costco. He's not even wearing like legit combat boots. Those are like raincoater boots for gumboots for like Costco boots, right? And cops and the cops around him all have combat boots on. Like literally, they're all better geared than him. So and then he takes off the mask and all that shit, and it makes me think he is nothing but a cop who does not answer to anybody. So his superpower is he can cross that line that cops cannot cross unless you're black. Right? So what happens is when you take a dark and gritty take like that, Batman is just the guy who can beat up white guys and black guys, but in the trailer he only beats up Hispanic guys.
Sure, diversity quota fulfill korte hobe, ঠিক আছে? I'm pretty sure there's going to be Indian thugs in the movie. ঠিক আছে? You need to beat up some brown thugs.
So look, this is my woke take on Batman.
And women and some trans people as well.
And that's funny. A gritty, realistic take on Batman is just making Batman a bad cop. He's literally that. You're glorifying American police violence. That's what you do. Like look at that dude. What did he do? It's like Arabai, apni ke, and you punch the fuck out of him. So how is that different from like stepping on somebody's neck and choking him to death for doing absolutely nothing? Tell me I'm fucking wrong, but that's exactly what it looks like. Like,
Imagine asking for someone's identity and he like breaks the shit out of your best friend. What the fuck? No!
There's movement going on in
Javier!
If this was a white cop beating up some Hispanic dude and then saying, "I'm vengeance," how the fuck do you think Americans would react to it?
Not that great.
But because he's in a cowl, people are like, yes, do it, Batman.
Billionaire white guy in a cowl, and we're like, oh my god, that was so brutal, that was so amazing. Batman. So Batman.
So awesome.
Batman is so Batman.
ওইটা আমি প্রথম থেকে বলছিলাম ব্যাটম্যানকে ওরা এখন লাইক একটা এমন পর্যায়ে নিয়ে গেছে হি ইজ দিস ব্রুটাল ওয়ার মঙ্গারের মতো লাইক ইভেন the Batman আমাদের ম্যাট্রিক্স ওখানে the scene they show off as Batman cool. It's like, oh, he's beating up this guy like brutally. I am vengeance বলার পরে he should have stopped, right? That's the point.
No.
Then he keeps on going and
no. See, again, if you break that sequence down, he says, "I'm vengeance" till when he's done punching. He punches the guy 6 times. I counted 6 times. Guy's down, right? Batman,
he's down.
the Batman that we know, wouldn't go down for the 3 extra punches. The boysha ghushi martese. He goes back down, punches that dude for 3 more times, and that dude in the Indian dude in the Indian Joker thug in the black is like, "Oh my fucking god, he's gonna kill me next." And then he goes, "I'm vengeance." It's literally glorifying, violence,
police violence,
and we're like okay with it. Yeah, it's cool. This is good. But like,
as long as he's in a costume, no one cares.
Yeah. So this is my woke take for Americans. They should make police wear cowls and capes. And
everyone will support you. Everyone will support you. Cops, listen to this shit. Bat lives matter.
Did you see one of the videos that went viral during the Black Lives Matter movement? Is actually a guy dressed up as Batman showing up in between all the tear cans, the tear gases, and everything, and a guy in full Batman costume like walking around, and everybody was like cheering him on. So just take that a step further, and
If you
start
said
punching people.
no. What you said, they already did that in Watchmen, the TV series.
Yeah,
They gave
yeah.
these masks.
That's
Yeah,
the whole concept I'm talking about. The okay. Of course, আমি এত genius না যে এই woke take আমার কাছ থেকে আসছে. This woke take came from Damon Lindelof because I watched Walkman, and then from Walkman I was like, that's what this shit is. That's literally what this shit is. Batman is just a costume police officer. He is not accountable to
Walkman.
anybody. So Walkman দেখার পরে আমার মাথায় আসছে এটা যে that's what a realistic gritty take on Batman literally is. I have many questions.
I can't disagree with you there. But that's the thing. I don't want a realistic take on Batman anymore. I want them to go back to the Joe Schumacher stuff.
Okay.
Where are the nipples? Give me the nipples.
Say what
No,
you
not the
will.
nipples. Part 3, forever. Just go back to forever.
Forever,
listen,
right.
listen. Talk
Forever
about
was fun to
whatever.
watch.
Say whatever you want to say about Forever and Returns.
Bat credit card.
As comic book fans right now on this fucking podcast, all of you, tell me which is the most comic book accurate Batman movie. It is actually Forever
It's
and
gonna be
maybe
forever.
Returns.
It's gonna be
But Forever. It is Batman Forever. Batman Forever is the most accurate comic book Batman movie yet.
Okay, yeah.
He has a bat credit card in it, right? Obviously.
And you want to talk about that?
That is part 4.
Fine.
Batman
Let's in the last issue of Batman, he actually debuts Battery, which is the Bat Theory, the joke that has been going around. It's canon now. He actually takes out a battery and goes, "I have the Bat Theory," and
Bat Theory?
Really? Did you go there? So how weird is that from having a Bat credit card?
Like,
Not that off.
have you guys ever watched that legendary director's cut of Forever that everyone on Reddit talks about?
Yeah,
Like, it's supposed to be a very good movie. I mean,
it's a very good movie. It is a very, very good movie. Batman Forever is my favorite Batman movie. I'm just gonna come out and say it. Batman Forever, director's cut, is my favorite Batman movie.
Do you think you're gonna love it forever, Mama?
I'm probably gonna love it forever.
Exactly.
And there's a rumor there is a Schumacher cut for Batman and
Batman
Robin.
Robin.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna watch that. Forget it. Jotoi bhalo hok.
Dude,
He
look,
Oscar
listen.
পাইলেও আমি দেখবো না. No,
Dude,
that's
look
not gonna happen,
at
dude.
just remember that scene. Just remember that scene.
Apparently there are people online trying to like petition to get it released on HBO Max.
Yes, let's do that. Let's do that.
Yeah.
I am in for the Schumacher cut. Fuck Snyder.
This Snyder cut is like giving way to like a lot of idiots like getting try to get their own little cuts going on. Man.
Dude, Francis Ford Coppola is releasing the Coppola cut for Godfather 3.
Of course he is.
Why is there a Coppola cut? I don't want any more cuts of.
Didn't he directed himself? I mean, why is
No. আমার কথা হচ্ছে এটা আমার genuine question. Will the Coppola cut not have Sofia Coppola in it? তাহলে আমি দেখবো। ওর মেয়েটার মধ্যে না থাকলে আমি দেখবো। নাহলে আমি দেখবো না, bro.
So every কয়দিন পরে
Someone talk.
No, Francis Ford Coppola has like 100 cuts of Apocalypse now, so it's not surprising he has
my
a
God.
lot of cuts for that.
Oh, don't take. Right?
You know what needs a director's cut? David Lynch's Dune. That 5-hour long cut that needs to come out, so I can finally watch
immediately.
that, so I can actually kill myself. Like watch 5 hours of that and kill myself. Like I watched an hour of that and I haven't slept. Like I didn't go to sleep for 2 days after I watched an hour of that
এত ভালো লাগছে তোর
এত পছন্দ করছো তুমি
It's a fucking 3-hour long movie about sand.
I need to know, is the Dune franchise worth getting into? I've never gotten into it. Like, how are the books?
Well,
Yeah.
the new movie is coming out, so
Dennis Villeneuve. But
Yeah,
not the books.
you
The
know,
books.
yeah,
Are the
but
books
it's-
good?
Dennis Villeneuve.
Dude, I mean,
He's a good director, man. I love his work.
and I'm loving the things that he's showing. To be very honest, the shots that I've seen and things. But if you go and look at the original Dune movie, I'm not talking about the sci-fi TV show. If you go and look at the original Dune movie, that shit looks amazing. they built like hundreds of sets and sound stages and shot on location, and it looks brilliant. David Lynch is a great director. Don't get me wrong, he's one of the greatest to have ever worked. But
It's not a storyteller.
but the problem with Dune is literally not
Possible
adaptable
to
in
adapt.
terms of a movie, unless you cut out a lot of that shit. Like bacha oi galaxy oi planet eikhane mining korto.
So why wouldn't they make it a TV show then? How they did?
That sci-fi TV
They
show
did.
exists.
Yeah, of course they-
And that's apparently pretty good. I haven't seen it, but apparently that's pretty good. So I'm gonna watch that.
I mean,
But since
I'm
like
curious about
the hero is basically the most perfect human being to exist. He is like
He's white.
he's a eugenics experiment, and he's like the most, and like he every chick in the galaxy loves him and shit like that.
Of course.
And they're like,
Are we talking about the character that's played by Timothy Chalamet?
yeah.
Yes,
Timothy
Timothy
Chalamet.
Chalamet, Timothy
Chalamet,
Chameleon,
Chalamet, and
Timothy
Chalamet.
Chameleon.
Shalala.
নাম কেমনে দেয় আমার ছেলের নাম শালে মিলে 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 মিলে
So Chalamet, the role he's playing is the kid who is basically the most perfect human being ever created through eugenics and shit like that.
আলটিমেট চ্যাড Timothy
He's the
Chalamet.
he literally is the ultimate chef, and everything in that world is based on this thing called melange. And melange is this drug that can be found in the sand. And if you take that drug, it is super addictive, but it creates this. It basically gives you superpowers. So there's this whole worldwide trade network of melange, and everybody's like, and that's basically the thing. Sand. The melange is in the sand. And so like,
wait. So the hero's family trades this stuff.
yeah, melange.
So they're drug peddlers.
Yeah, that's literally what it is about.
Fucking
entire
Chalamet.
The entire
It's like Space Godfather.
yeah, this is the entire
Godfather in sand.
entire fucking humanity is fighting over melange.
Oh my
I
God.
will not enjoy Dune, will I? But then again, I hate sand in general, so I won't enjoy.
Do you like Game of Thrones, the books? Have you read the book?
Yes.
I love the books.
Yeah, the books
Basically,
are
the
better than
the
the
Game of
fucking...
Thrones books are based on the Dune books.
Okay.
It's pretty much Game of Thrones in space.
Okay. And because that's fine. I just hate sand. I genuinely hate sand.
Like
Okay, and
the-
again,
And it's melange.
As someone who grew up in Saudi Arabia, I fucking hate sand.
rough and irritating. Does it get everywhere, Rafi?
It gets everywhere. It's rough and irritating. It gets everywhere.
It's melange. It's not sand. You're getting it wrong. It's melange. Putin মধ্যে দিয়ে ঢুকলে ওটা effect করে।
the original cut of Dune the movie, David Lynch's Dune the movie, has 2,122 talking roles.
Shalamalak ke baad de Hayden Christensen.
Why didn't they cast Hayden Christensen? Like, that would have been so perfect. He just shows up and goes, I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and it gets everywhere and then just leaves.
Fade to black end credits.
That's it. That was the movie.
Fuck this sad.
No, by the way, that reminds me. So I was watching. I got like with the Pattinson thing, right? I had to rewatch his movies, and that obviously involved Twilight, right? I couldn't get past the first one, obviously. With the baseball scene,
I've only seen Twilight 3.
I'm দেখি না আমি legit first দেখছি আর লাস্টে কতগুলো সিন দেখছি বুঝছো না
Do you know how Twilight 3 ends?
কেমনে
Edward and Bella, her name's Bella, right?
yes
Have a kid, right?
Have a kid,
Killing
right?
her from the inside.
And the kid basically to be born has to kill Bella. But when the kid is born, she imprints on the werewolf dude.
oh the kid
So-
is the soulmate of the werewolf
Of
dude
the werewolf,
yes
right?
that's
So
why the werewolf dude was into Bella. He wants to fuck her daughter.
Yeah, and it's like, what the fuck just happened? I'm John ending which I was like, what the fuck just happened?
না but first এর মধ্যে বুঝছো যেটা একটা স্পেসিফিক জিনিস দেখলাম so at least the first 6 to 7 scenes that Robert Pattinson is in ঠিক আছে he is actively trying to leave the movie. Like, that's not a joke. He's just like, all the shots are him walking away. ঠিক আছে? That's what all the shots are. He's just leaving the set. He just keeps leaving the fucking set.
He's said that a lot in the interviews. Yeah, that is the worst thing I've ever. But have you seen that movie by Pattinson called
Good time.
Good
I was
Times?
planning to watch Good Time tonight, actually.
I mean, Namad
Yeah,
actually. I mean,
it's a great movie. It's a fucking amazing movie. It, that's that movie and the movie where he goes out to get a haircut. I forgot the name of that one. Those are the two movies that turned me around on Pattinson. Although I'm on Lighthouse dekhine, but apparently Lighthouse
To
is
watch
supposed to be
Lighthouse,
really
yeah.
that was good. That was good. Fun.
But yeah, like I said, besides my woke take on Batman, the Batman, we are all looking forward to it generally.
No, of course, of course. It's gonna be the first proper detective story in terms of the movies, right?
Yeah.
So that's gonna
And
be
I
something.
hope it has political thriller elements.
Yeah, it will, because again, like we're seeing the whole element of Bruce having to come to terms that his parents were also involved with that shit.
Yeah, because Riddler.
And there was the Court of Owl mask, right? There was a Court of Owls mask in
Yeah,
one
yeah.
of the
There's a
movies.
Court of Owl mask, and there's an owl thing on the card that he gets sent by the Riddler. There's an owl on it as well. So either it's a nod to Long Halloween or it's a Court of Owls thing. But also, like Riddler says, yeah, um, if you something, if you're in power, don't lie. How much would you take for turning a blind eye or something to that effect? So it looks like that Riddler is also going after people in power. So our police
I feel
corruption
like
and
that's
stuff like
gonna
that.
be the dilemma that like Batman trying to solve Riddler is actually like, you know, working for the corruption.
Yeah. It's basically the thing that Batman. Nolan tried to look into it as well, right? Nolan's
Yeah.
movie was all about corrupt cops and everything like that. Basically.
Yeah.
And speaking of Batman, I recently I was not a fan of Batman Begins, and I recently rewatched
Really?
Batman Begins. Yeah, yeah.
Batman Begins is
Actually,
fucking
that's been
amazing.
my favorite one.
Yeah, same.
I liked it more than Dark Knight.
Dude.
And I
Nah,
don't
because
know
the Dark
also-
Knight is a Joker movie. The Batman
Yeah,
Begins
yeah.
is a Bruce Wayne movie.
Is
man.
a
It's
Batman
good. It's a
Bruce
Batman
Wayne's
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I'm the reason is because like when I saw it, I think I was younger and I didn't like you guys grew up faster than I did, right? So eto to amader iye chilo na. So my analyzation of that thing was a lot slower and incomplete than it is right now. এখন যখন আমি দেখতেছি I'm looking at it a lot more um,
Analytically.
analytically দেখতেছি. So there are certain things that I did not I made fun of it and I questioned it back when I watched it and now I'm like, oh wait, they explained this, like like the entire journey for Bruce Wayne going from ও যখন Moroniর কাছে যায় and Moroni says, what the fuck do you know about crime and hardships? Your parents died and yeah, that's all, but you need to go 10 kilometers either way to find somebody who does not know the name of Bruce Wayne. You're a rich kid, you don't know what it's like to be what it is like down here, and so he goes and he gives it all up, and then he goes into like being poor and goes on this entire journey and everything, and he learns how so ohimu হয়ে যায়. And see that I always had a problem because I kind of glossed over those parts because I know this shit, let's just get to the good part kind of bhabe dekha ar ki. But now that I go back and watch it a lot more analytically, and I'm like, oh, okay, Nolan actually put some serious thought into this shit and how this can be realistically done. So Reeves has a lot to live up to. Batman Begins in terms of as a Batman movie, he has a lot to live up to. So I really hope.
I hope one thing is like I really liked the parts of the city we saw in Batman Begins, like the gothic architecture, যেটা Dark Knight and onwards পুরা ছেড়ে দিছিল. Like I really loved how the Narrows looked like.
Yeah. That even that the train gulo যেখানে the tracks gulo, the archways of the tracks, and that's like a retro gothic futuristic thing, and it looks
Like, it really bothered me about Dark Knight.
Dark Knight, it just became a
didn't see
fucking
that anymore.
skyscraper. It just became a basic metropolitan city. There was no gothic
Yeah, it's just
architecture at
Chicago.
all.
It's literally just
It's
Chicago.
literally just Chicago. Yeah. Pura gothic
Like-
architecture চলে গেছিল.
No, he just gave it up because even if you go back and look at the Wayne building in Batman Begins, that building actually has bat ears, and that's gone from and then the other Wayne buildings in 2 and 3.
Like Batman Begins sort of set নিয়ে করছিল, like there was no set design in Dark Knight.
There was no
They
such.
shot
They,
it
they, they shot on location.
didn't lack and it was more it's a more visceral movie. মানে জোকারকে তুমি এক জায়গায় কেমনে রাখবা? You can't keep him at one spot.
No, but that's what my
Yeah,
thing
but
about
the
Batman.
way they tried to show it is that like it's two different parts of the city. So Amra, like we see the metropolitan part of Gotham, but like I don't know, it just doesn't fit as the same
Like
city.
if you go and look at what's it called, Batman, sorry, The Dark Knight Rises, it looks like the city where the new Joker movies, made it. Like it has no personality.
Dark Knight Rises had a lot of problems. I don't think Nolan নিজেই করতে চাইছিল
Rises, even then ওটাতেও মনে করি, you have those steps in the final fight where it takes place.
Dude, I tried watching it recently. It's horrible. It's like it's almost, sorry for this, but it's almost like Batman and Robin. Like funny action.
Fuck you! Batman and Robin is awesome. Do you remember that scene where they click their heels and snowblades come out? Dude, that's so Batman. That is like so fucking Batman. And listen about the nipples. If you have worked out, if you have actually worked out for extensive periods of time wearing tight clothing, do you know how much your nipples get chapped?
It also opens up for the bad guys to give you purple nipple. Yes,
so
if you're strong.
Basically, if you're Batman,
enough strength, Superman I should have purple nipple.
If you are Batman, you will think to actually put some space in there so your nipples cannot get chafed, and that's logical. That's so Batman. That's what Batman would do.
He would prevent nipple chafing. He's taking precautions against everything.
But আমার মনে হচ্ছে যে like the biggest problem that Matt Reeves Batman is gonna face is like যেটা like Spider-Man franchise হয়েছে, like Tobey Maguire trilogy কিছুদিন পর পরে তোমার we had the Andrew Garfield, and before you could like sink back into the Andrew Garfield stuff, you just suddenly touched that got cancelled, and then we got Tom Holland. মানে খুব back to back জিনিসটা হয়েছে. I think Batman is going through the same phase right now. And
I just hope that the trilogy like completes.
Mani, তুমি চিন্তা করো, we've had like 3 different Batmans.
No, look, we live in a
and then Ben Affleck, and now we have like Matt Reeves stuff like that.
We live in a weird era, though. We live in a weird era of. I think we talked about this during fandom, so I'll just repeat that and finish this off. But we live in a weird era where suddenly Batman is not hands off. Like আমরা কিন্তু বড় হইছি একটা এরাতে যখন ব্যাটম্যান was like, oh my god, Batman's literature, he's an iconic character, ওরে স্মলভিলে আনা যাবে না, ওরে এখানে দেওয়া যাবে না, ওখানে দেওয়া যাবে না, না Batman's in everything. Now Warner Brothers is like, yeah, let's just put Batman in everything. So he's in video games, he's in TV shows, there are different versions of him, movies coming, he's everywhere. So
toilet paper এও আছে এখন.
I think toilet paper আগেও ছিল, but সেটা
back toilet paper.
I'm pretty sure that exists.
আমরা ওদের নিয়েতে কি
There's
দেখলাম?
gonna be a spin-off series. The Batman's gonna get a series in HBO Max.
Yeah, it's gonna be the Gotham PD, Gotham PD show. Yep.
Gotham
Yep.
PD, yeah.
I thought that was Gotham.
Nah, we're getting a different
Gotham is a
PD.
completely separate universe that's self-contained.
We should do a podcast on Gotham, right?
I can do it. I've watched the entire thing. Have you seen Gotham?
Have you seen Gotham?
Gotham is funny as hell.
Have you seen Gotham?
I've seen enough of season 1 to
No.
It gets so good.
Gotham is one of the weirdest shows of all time. It's
Dude, I'm telling you.
It's
Trust
peak
me.
camp.
The moment I saw one of the bad guys,
The goat.
Look at each other and then they run at each other. মারামারির জন্য I'm like, I call it quits right there.
আমি দেখতাম না, রাফি দেখছে, আমি দেখতাম না, রাফি দেখছে, রাফি দেখে he was like, Munazil mama, watch it. I was like, no. He was like, mama, watch it. I was like, no.
Comedy show
No, and then he showed me a clip of the cool kid that actually plays Gotham's version of Joker.
Oh
And
my god.
There's 2 of them, right?
twins. Well, technically it's just one because the first one doesn't count. It's the second one.
And I went and watched it, and I wouldn't, dude. I'm joking about Batman and Robin, but trust me on this. Gotham gets so. But don't go expecting. Dude, you watch fucking Legends of the Fall, like
Legends of Tomorrow.
Legends of Tomorrow.
না ওইরকমই এক্সপেক্ট করো, ওইটা কার্টুন হিসেবেই দেখো, just একটু এজি ডার্ক কার্টুন, বুঝছো?
It's as good, if not better, than any of the CW.
I don't like shiny and bright cartoons. I don't.
a Batman show actually. It's a year show. It's a Jim Gordon show.
I want Johnny Bravo. I don't want I don't want something else. I want the Johnny Bravo type stuff.
So recommendations for today. If you all the 8 guys who've been stayed throughout, which is amazing. Thank you guys for staying on.
Wow.
Recommendation for today is go play the Arkham games. You can download it, play it on a shitty laptop. It's a 20-year-old game. It will just run. It shouldn't be much of an issue. J laptop, but JPC Taco you can actually play.
Except Night Solbana.
Night's a PS4 game, so era game. So probably we're gonna stuck on that.
Play them chronologically.
Well optimized.
Raf is gonna come get you.
No,
Play
not
them, play them.
chronologically. Don't
Not
play
chronologically, release order. ঠিক আছে ওই যে প্রতিবন্ধীর মতো আমার আছে লাইক আই হ্যাড দিস আর্গুমেন্ট উইথ যে মজা হচ্ছে মারশাদ লাইক হি লেজিট টোল্ড মি যে স্টার ওয়ার্স দেখতেছস না এপিসোড 1 দিয়ে শুরু করবি তো what he tried to defend himself.
The reason why they're prequels.
প্রতিবন্ধী সোতা
Prequels are always meant to be played.
Dude. There is a case to be made for watching it chronologically. There are many different ways of watching Star Wars, but
এটা বাদ দাও but if you're gonna watch it for the first time you watch it in release order. That's how it works. The entire Arkham series it was free for claiming on EGS last year during Batman Day when the Batman skin came out on Fortnite, so most of us already own it except Origins, by the way. It's not the entire Arkham series, it's only the trilogy. It's not Origins.
For some reason I am very anti Epic Games too. I don't know. I'm just I'm just taking a stand. Fuck them.
Says someone who's played Fortnite for a year and a half.
That's why. But so
I mean, I don't know. The Epic gets shit on way too much. They've been supporting a lot of indie devs. Granted, they're they're Epic exclusive. The really the only part I have to complain about is that the Epic Games Store as a launcher needs more features. Onek kichu missing. But exclusivity jonno I can't really give them shit. Karon in return they are supporting a lot of devs.
Plus they take way less than Steam, right? They take 12% or something.
Yeah,
10%, I guess.
and they
been good for the industry in some way.
But it was the thing about I was discussing this with someone the other day, right? Valve, instead of running the business, they became the business with Steam and all that shit. But stopped making games.
What's that sound?
What is happening? Who's playing music?
No, sorry.
Acha. So instead of that, they became the business. But again, Epic versus Steam, we can do another show on this. That's a long-ass discussion that we can have. We should do a video game show, but next week, let's do anime. I want to talk about some animes next week. So recommendations as far as Batman's concerned, Arkham games. If you haven't played them, play them. Don't be an asshole like me. If you want to read Batman, don't read current Batman. Go read Long Halloween right now, because that's the book the new movie is going to be based on. And if you haven't read Long Halloween, what the fuck's wrong with you?
And Dark Victory.
The sequel.
Well, we're getting a Long Halloween animated too.
Yeah, we're getting Long Halloween animated as well. So you might as well read it, and you can impress girls with your knowledge of the movie.
Of Batman, yes.
Of Batman.
All girls like
all
good
girls
Batman
like talking about
moment. Yes.
Yeah, and the third thing is don't lick armpits. It's not. It's a gross habit. Don't.
Or lick armpits. It might give you immunity to corona.
Kink shame.
Well, it doesn't. Man. We know that it doesn't because he's got coronavirus.
No. But it's not gonna hurt him. He just has the virus.
It's not gonna hurt him. Yeah, and I'm not kink shaming him. It's perfectly fine what you wanna lick. That's completely up to you. I'm not stopping you. Go out, be yourself, and lick
everything. Lick everything, guys.
Yeah,
come on.
that's more power to you guys and your tongues. And the last thing is we are looking forward to the Batman, and if you can watch the Joel Schumacher cut of Batman Forever.
ভাই আমি খুঁজে পাইতেছি না তুমি কো watch the Joel Schumacher cut.
I'll send you the link.
Okay, ঠিক আছে.
আমিও পাই নাই আমি অনেক খুঁজছি পাই নাই কেন জানি
Okay, I'll send you both the links. Acha, I'm the group post kore dibo. If anybody else wants the link, just message Thwip. I'll send you the link as well. But that actually might be a problem because Facebook might shut me down. But yeah, the thing exists, and I might actually do a whole video on that at some point. So yeah, Schumacher cut of Batman Forever. If you can find it, watch it. It's actually pretty good. And repeat Batman the Animated Series. I am going to tell you something which is weird. If you repeat the Batman the Animated Series, you will discover a lot of things that you did not know existed in that show because you watched it so long ago that you don't remember it well enough.
And also continue on to watch Batman Beyond because as a whole, it's a really good
Dude,
thing.
if Batman Beyond is just the icing. It's a whole story. You cannot finish including the Return of the Joker. If you don't watch that, you don't.
And
get
then
the
you have to
complete
watch all
story
of JL Unlimited to get the epilogue for Batman Beyond.
for Batman Beyond as well. So what happened in there. And so when you're done with all that, I would also say you should watch The Batman, which is an alternate universe take on Batman, which is very
that was
Batman and Robin.
good. That was good.
it was very 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 did you guys read that comic book that is to come out, Gotham Academy?
Bit. Wasn't really into it.
Gotham Academy style, dude, trust me, go back and read Gotham Academy, it's amazing.
Okay.
Gotham Academy style, it's very much like Batman, cartoony, but it's good. A lot of people dismiss it, but
Have you watched the CGI one? Beware the Batman?
no, I haven't watched.
I'd
No,
like
I
it
watched
too.
that.
It's pretty good.
It was pretty good. Pretty good.
Because I was watching.
It lacked enough villains, but it was quite pretty
It
good.
got cancelled
Action
toward. I
wise,
feel like they could have gone.
yeah. And at least part season now they like the Batman animation kill, and actually it can't fly.
Yeah.
So yeah, watch all that
so
shit.
sad.
And if you want to watch a hilarious take on Batman, watch As Much as I Hate It.
Brave and the Bold.
No,
Brave and the
Brave and the Bold.
no.
Brave and the Bold is the best.
Okay, Brave and the Bold is really good.
Brave and the Bold is the best. I love it.
Stupid ass. The one that I was talking about. If you want to take, if you are talking about a funny take on Batman, watch Harley Quinn. As much as I hate it, Harley Quinn has actually a pretty funny take. Because I was watching this episode where Poison Ivy just lets go of pheromones, and Batman's looking at, and Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman all get turned on with each other. Wonder Woman is like basically rubbing Batman's nipples. And she's like rubbing Batman's nipples, and Superman is like, and Batman, I don't think Batman's affected because he's always prepared and shit. And and Superman is. And how is he gonna fight off two superpowered horny superheroes in this deadly song? I mean, Hasta Kinda DC is fucking hilarious. So watch Harley Quinn as well. And in terms of the comics, you can read the latest stuff. Three Jokers is amazing, but in a very comic booky way, in a very comic book
stuff.
way.
I would actually recommend you guys to read everything in 2000s, like Batman and Joto Ranchilo, because as a whole, No Man's Land take jete war drums, war games. It's all so good.
Till
No Man's Land are आगे तो नहीं किसी Absolution, Contagion.
Right? Yeah.
Batman, I want to say Batman really hasn't hit a completely shit run in the last 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
In mainstream Batman, you can say it's been a 5 or a 6, but it's not been
I didn't really like Year Zero Snyder.
Okay, that's fine. I'm saying what you'd still give it a 5. Right?
Snyder was hit and miss. So Snyder was hit and miss.
At his worst,
It's not garbage. It's not garbage. The point is, it's not garbage.
At its worst, Batman in the last 30 years, the mainstream stories have not been below 5. I'm not gonna, it's been at least.
I agree.
Like compare that to Spider-Man and with Dan Slott and butt fucking Spider-Man for 10 years. Like, then I found out. Do you know who well, now it doesn't make sense me asking, do you know who it is? Dan Slott is the writer who has written the most Spider-Man issues in the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he still doesn't get Spider-Man as a character.
It's like hilarious. But like I said, in the last 30 years, Batman has not had very many shitty stories. I would highly recommend reading all of that stuff. You can read In Continuity. Even Nightfall stuff is really good. And the War Games is really good. No Man's Land is really good. Absolutely, is really good.
War Drums, War Games arc does not get enough appreciation, man.
Oh, it was so good. I think even Hush is good, or Cacophony is good. Widening Gyre is probably the worst one in that, and that's because Kevin Smith is a hack. Fucking Widening Gyre, motherfucking Kevin Smith. But look, Batman is an amazing character. There are times, I won't own up to it most of the time, but there are certain stories and stuff. Currently I don't like what they're doing with him. But Batman goes through peaks and valleys and phases. Right now he's going through the punchy phase, or his Nacho Libre phase, or whatever he's going through right now. But he's gonna come out the other side, and we're gonna get. And the Grant Morrison run, that's a mind bend, that's a mind fuck of a run. But if you can actually get into it and read it and give, that run is basically whatever you put into it, you get back. And also that run is more, the more you know about Batman, the more that run rewards you. Because he takes stuff from the Silver Age, he takes stuff from the Golden Age, he takes stuff from the Modern Age, and he mixes them all together and makes it one complete mythology. So oitate joto, you put yourself into it, Toto, you get back out of it. Court of Owls in New 52 is Scott Snyder's best work in Batman. And the Black Mirror, and the second one is the Black Mirror, but Court of Owls is his best work, to be very honest. Because
Black Mirror wasn't New 52 though.
Oh, it wasn't.
Black Mirror was Grant Morrison রানের সময় ছিল because it was Dick as Batman.
Yeah, but on it properly.
Gotcha. But like Court of Owls was the first time, I was like, oh my god, are they introducing a new villain? And then they're going back to the history of Gotham. How is this going to work out? And then, it worked out pretty well. Now Court of Owls is pretty much Batman and a Vishal Boro part of his mythology, and that's pretty cool. So Court of Owls,
Nightwing's interactions with Court of Owls was like কি জানি ছিল, the Council of Owls or something, like the international branch. Yeah. So I still feel like that all that stuff was better Court of Owls stories than the actual Court of Owls arc.
So that was all the stuff we had time to talk about when we all were already 25 minutes over time. But we talked about a lot of Batman stuff. If you want any more recommendations or any questions about Batman, message the page. If you like the stuff that we're doing over the last 1 month trying to provide content for you, please subscribe. And the last thing is, if you do watch a video of ours, please try to watch as much of it as you can, otherwise the views don't count. Ask your friends to subscribe. We have a goal of 1,000 subs by the end of this year. We have a goal of about 4,000 watch hours by the end of this year. And if we don't reach that goal, I personally will not be pursuing with Thwip, because this is so much hard work that I cannot explain to you how hard this shit is to do. And, I'm losing motivation. And so, thank you for being with us for the last hour and a half. Thank you for tuning in every Saturday. We really appreciate you. Like this stuff, share this stuff, do whatever you want. Don't do if you don't like this and you think you're full of shit, dislike this stuff. Whatever you do, we're just glad you're here. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
Alright, and that's us signing off.
Signing off.
Yo.